Und los! Living Room wird präsentiert von Sound.
Bills throwing Swiss francs. Before I die, I want my money in a Swiss bank. I can see right through these haters, fish tanks. Plus they frowning at my watch like my wrist stink. Bills foreign, Swiss francs. Before I die, I stack my money in a Swiss bank.
Hi and welcome. Here's your microphone.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling. Oh,
I put my girls in.
when did you do that? That was kind of magic. I didn't even realize when you put that in.
No, they caught it on camera. Probably that camera would definitely catch it for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, isn't it hard to talk with the grill zone? Is it
No,
comfortable?
Is it hard to understand me?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So you got used, but I can imagine, people who get clips or something to get the teeth fixed, they have issues at the beginning when they have it inside. Isn't it the same with the grills too?
Not really.
Okay. Well, when you're comfortable, we're comfortable too.
Yeah, we're comfortable.
So, welcome back to Switzerland.
It's great to be back.
You have a good relationship with Switzerland, isn't it?
I do have a great relationship with Switzerland, but I mostly have a great relationship with any country that I visit, just because I think it's about people, and I love people, and I, at this stage in my career, I really just appreciate everyone who's still supporting me. It's awesome.
But you don't sing about the things which are in the countries everywhere, like Swiss francs at the Swiss banks.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's some kind of special, isn't it, with Switzerland?
Well, I mean, that's like a dream of every entrepreneur, every young person that's trying to make it. The dream is, hey, I have so much, I'm generating so much income that I need a Swiss bank account.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something you hear about like in movies, and
That's true.
it's legendary. So
Did you check your balance already?
yeah,
At your Swiss bank?
yeah, at the UBS.
That's where you are, okay.
Yeah, I check the balance. Yeah.
What does luxury mean to you? Having a Swiss bank account is some kind of a status thing, I guess. And I see you wearing jewelry. What kind of meaning does it have to you?
It's just I think it's just a way that you express yourself. There's certain things that some people it's bikes, some people it's interior design. For me, it's cars. I like cars.
Yeah.
And
Do you have a Tesla now?
you've done a lot of research.
Of course I do.
Yeah, I like that car. Yeah, so it's a form of self-expression, but it's also motivation.
To work harder?
Well, not to work harder per se, but it's motivation in the sense that there are a lot of, they're symbols, right? So they're symbols of a certain level of achievement, a certain level of work ethic, and so when you get, when you see somebody, it's like kids in the hood. They see a car go by and say, "Oh, that's my car," And so that's good. It's good to allow people to dream, and at the same time, when you allow people to dream, it's also, for me, I really get into the actual craftsmanship, So for me, I've done everything from making my own clothes to sneakers to everything, and I go to the factories in Portugal, and you see the craftsmanship. You see how much people care about what they're putting together, and so the way I approach making my records is I would say very similar to the way that Rolls-Royce approaches making their vehicles. And so that's the similarity I have there, I'm also into private aviation, right? So as part of my new subscription club, my album, if you subscribe at the highest level, whenever I have a seat available on my jet, you can come ride with me, You know?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
MZRT, that's a new album with the
Yeah.
hashtag, of course.
Yeah.
So that's kind of revolutionary because nowadays a lot of artists have problem generating money out of music because everyone can stream it, can download it for free.
Yeah.
And you invented something that changes the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that I invented it. I would just say that, you know, I understand the game, and based on my experience, I believe that I understand what the future, at least for my career, is going to be, and I'm building it so that it can be a blueprint for every other independent artist to follow. So, you know, people are still making a lot of money from music, and mostly it comes down to the live show, you know, because that's something that you can't duplicate. A digital track, it's easy, you can get a copy of it, you know. I don't know anyone besides an art collector who would pay millions of dollars for a copy of the Mona Lisa, right? You could just download it and put it on your desktop, on your computer. And so the whole idea of digital copies of music is really interesting, right? Because they're just copies, right? But the live show, I'm going to come here to Switzerland and we're going to give an incredible live show in November. The live show is really something that is inimitable. Every single one is one of a kind. So when you pay your 35 or 45 or 150, 200 euros, whatever you pay to come to get that once in a lifetime experience, it's time. So like right now, you know, even if I gave you $1 million in 5 minutes, you couldn't buy back these 5 seconds that we have right now. It's literally priceless.
So do you even get time for yourself? It sounds like you're an entrepreneur, you're a producer, you're a performer yourself. I mean, when do you get time to relax and just spend time on however you want to?
Well, I mean, this is the life I chose, right? So this is how I would spend my time anyway. If I had to make a choice, I would spend my time making music, making films, building technology, and saying thank you to all the people who are making my life possible. So I guess this is, I know that this is time for myself, you know. And so I think the real question is, when will I actually have time and begin to start a family? Now that's different, right? When you have, I'm looking at my sister right now. She has a niece and a nephew, and she has 2 children who are my niece and nephew.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, that's really when the time is no longer yours. You know, right now I'm living, I'm traveling, you know, I do nice dinners and nice hotels and, you know, concerts and everything. And
so Ryan,
you know, so this
what
is my
about
time.
building a family?
What about building a family? Yeah. So, you know, that's a different level of commitment and time. And so that's really when I think I need to figure out how to spend my time, because I know for sure I definitely want to raise my children. I want them to be able to play piano or sports or do karate or whatever they want to do, and I definitely want to be as involved as I possibly can. So my resources, my money, my everything is going to be, you know, in many ways assigned to them. And so, yeah, I got to figure that out, you know.
So do you have plans? Is there a special lady you say, like, I could get that commitment for her and, you know, spend less time with the fans and more time with her and making babies?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's you know, I guess I've had a lot of relationships. Some
I heard rumors.
some more public than others. And a relationship is about teamwork, you know. So, and hey, man, you know, my numbers are available. It's like, you know, you want to be on my team, you know. It's also a huge commitment, you know. And
It's hard to be with an artist who is always busy.
yeah, you got it right, Tama. You're right. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Like, you know, have you ever dated an artist before? Yeah.
Nope. But I have a brother, and I know how complicated he is.
Oh, he's an artist.
He is
Your
an
brother's an
artist.
artist.
Yeah.
Okay. And so have his relationships worked out?
They were quite difficult.
They
But
were
he's married
difficult.
now.
Oh, he's married now. See?
He is.
It worked.
Yeah.
So it worked out. Does he have any kids?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. But he wants to have kids, right?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think every human has it somewhere inside. You
Yeah.
know, to have
Yeah.
kids one day.
I think so. So yeah, I mean, it's about teamwork. You know, for my whole life, I'm the kind of person that just whenever I think about something, I make it happen. And so the stories that I've had in my mind from being a youngster, and I think my priorities have definitely changed over the years. You know, but yeah, you know, the goal to make the biggest impact I possibly can make on the world, that will never change. And so the time, the energy, the resources, the relationships that I need to make that happen, that's what's important to me. And so it's like the president and the first lady, and not to, you know, call myself, you know, a presidential candidate, even though I did go to Harvard, right? It's about finding that perfect teammate. And every relationship that I start, I treasure the relationship because you never know, you know, what magical road you could end up going down. So yeah, because people say, well, you know, well, Ryan, you know, you give everybody your phone number, but I mean that's because like the world is such an amazing place. You know, people say, oh, you know, Swiss francs, Switzerland, you got a special relationship with Switzerland. Yeah, you know, I'm sure that there are going to be partners. Maybe there's multiple partners around the world that I'll have to have this idea, or to fulfill this idea that your life can be better when you focus on your relationships more. And so as I travel so much, I need a lot of relationships. I think I do, you know. So my real vision and goal, and you'll see it happening over the next, you know, over the years as I develop more and more relationships, as more people text me and say, hey, Ryan, you know, I want to be cool with you. I would love to be able to go to any city, drop a pin where I am and say, hey, you know, I want to have dinner with the most interesting people. And that doesn't mean the wealthiest or the smartest, or, I mean, literally all walks of life, to just have dinner, break bread, and understand human experiences, you know, that are different from mine. But they're all human. I mean, we're all here. We have to live, whether we're rich or we're poor. We're all here, and we have to make the best of it. You know, it's not like we can just.
So you know that the time is also limited.
Yeah.
At one point, we're all going to die, obviously.
Yeah.